Mataji, Mataji, I have not still prepared anything. My books are all in. I'm
No
still
problem.
cleaning up.
No problem. You can
So,
just
yeah.
guess, and your guesses are mostly right, so no problem. So we'll just
Oh,
go one by one.
yeah, I'll
First,
Gita, but yeah.
so the first question in chapter 3 is, what is Krishna consciousness sometimes misunderstood as? Miral Mataji, you want to try that? What is it misunderstood as, Krishna consciousness?
Yes, inertia.
Yes. So it is misunderstood
Uh,
as, we
uh,
have to get mainly the word inertia.
Sometimes Krishna, yes,
Yeah.
sometimes Krishna consciousness is misunderstood to be nurture.
Yes. And we can just add,
That much is okay, Mataji, or we have to add something.
we can add a little bit, maybe, 2, 3 lines space, and then if we get time, we can come back and add that people think that it's all about going to a lonely place and chanting, and that is Krishna consciousness. So they misunderstand it to be inertia, or just not doing any of your work and sitting down and doing nothing, just chanting and being alone. The second, so we'll go to the second question. First question answer is simply inertia.
Actually, Mataji, what happened now when I try to write in detail, it's like it goes more than one para.
Yeah, so you can leave 3, 4 lines, after writing the main answer, leave 3, 4 lines and go and complete all 8 questions out of 10 choice. And then you can come back and, try and fill up all those 3, 4 lines here and there if you have time. Otherwise, we will not be able to complete sitting and writing.
Actually.
Yeah. The second
So
one,
this one line is not enough, Mataji.
one line is actually
Like
enough. Yeah, it's actually enough. But Mataji said 3, 4 lines, no? She said like write 2 to 3 lines or maybe 3, 4 lines. So then we can just briefly explain a little bit. We shouldn't go beyond that. So question 2 is a whole load of phrases are there. We have to explain the Sanskrit phrases. It's only give English meaning. So I have only written the English meaning. So Kripa Mataji, you want to try the first one? Tad ekam vada. This is simple. Tad ekam vada.
Sorry, Mataji, I didn't get you.
What is the meaning of Tad ekam vada?
Tat ekam vada, no idea, Mataji. Ekam is one.
Yeah, vada means tell. And tat
Vada
means,
is,
yeah.
okay.
And tat means therefore. So here Arjuna in 3.2 is saying, tell me one.
Okay.
Yeah, just tell me one thing what to do. Don't confuse me, that one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Minal
Okay.
Mataji, you do Mithyachara and I'll do the next one. Mithyachara?
pretender.
Yeah. So you can just explain a little bit. What is a pretender?
Like we can give the example of that who was smoking at the same time
Yeah.
holding that Kamandal.
Kamandal, and I think he was talking on the phone.
Phone.
Yeah.
Something like.
Yeah. So,
Can we give that, Pravina Mataji, that
yes, yes.
example?
Yeah, we can give that. So pretenders are like those who will are actually still interested in sense enjoyment, but they're pretending as if they are have control over their senses. Narkat Vairagi or something, no?
Markat,
Yeah.
Markata Vairagya is like that monkey which Mataji had given an example, where they are just jumping from one tree to another. Also, the lake, I think, that was Falgu, I think, Falgu Vairagya, right? Markata, I think she gave monkey ka
Monkey
example.
only, He looks like he doesn't
Yeah.
want anything. He'll just be sitting, not having anything with him, but actually he is jumping about all the time, wanting all sense enjoyment.
Monkey, yeah.
So the next one is my turn. Karma yogam asakta sa vishishyate. This is from 3.7. Karma yogam here is given in the meanings, in the what do you call it, the word to word meaning as devotion. So karma yogam simply meaning is given as devotion, and asakta is without attachment. So sakta is like attachment. Asakta is without attachment. Sah is he, and vishishyate means is by far better. So devotion without attachment is by far better. So in this 3.7, Krishna is saying that if a sincere person tries to control his senses by the mind and begins karma yoga without attachment, then he is superior to the pseudo transcendentalist who has actually stopped everything and pretending that he stopped, but he has all desires. Then there's a example of a sweeper in the street is better than a charlatan meditator. That is comparison given. A sweeper in the street who is sincere can be even better than a charlatan meditator. Next one, Kripa Mataji, you can try. Yo bhunte stena eva sah. Yo bhunte stena eva sah.
That is 3 point.
That is from 3.9. No, sorry, 3.12. Yo bhunte stena eva sah.
Yo bhungte. Stena eva sa.
Yes.
Yo bhungte stena eva sa. Yo is someone who enjoys. Stena means a thief. Eva sa. Certainly he is. Is this
Hare
something
Krishna Mataji.
with someone
I think
who
you
is
forgot one
We
D
missed
question,
out one.
Mataji.
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji, we
Mataji.
missed out one. Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we
Was
are
not
just
able to join the first chapters and second chapters. Please apologize me. I have been busy with my son's Upanayana.
no problem, Mataji. We are all trying to somehow do this because it gives us some peace of mind in this very tough material world.
Exactly, Mataji.
So we
It's
actually,
almost like
yeah.
when I did my PhD also, like it was not that much struggling. Now it is like to give present the perfect answer. I think I find out a perfect answer, but I feel like I should present it still some more points.
Better.
I should add
Yeah.
some more. I feel like that.
Yeah, true. So we just reached question 2, Mataji. We are discussing all these terms from the closed book short answers. Kripa Mataji, we missed out one. Tadartham karma konteya mukta sangha. This long phrase from 3.9.
2.9.
Yeah.
Okay. Karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara.
Yeah.
Karma. Karma is work. Kaunteya Kunti.
Oh,
Kunti's
Pranav
son
Kunti.
is Arjuna.
Yeah.
Mukta sangaha samachara. Samachara is perfectly doing something perfectly, and mukta means liberation.
Yeah. Mukta sangha, liberation from association.
Liberation from association. Okay. Okay. So what does it mean? Son of Kunti, perform your duties, and in a way you will be free from any bondage. So you have to do your duties, and you will be freed or liberated basically from all bondages.
Yeah. So association here means bondage, I think so, no? It doesn't mean association of
No,
non-devotees.
I think Mataji, Hare Krishna, it is maybe liberated from association.
Liberated from association. But does this association mean all kinds of association, like relatives and everything, right?
I think
Everything.
it's for devotees. I don't know.
Actually, the word is coming.
Ravina Mataji, please explain.
Tadartham, yeah, Lakshmi Mata, you also try to get this phrase. Actually, the whole purport is telling us that you have to basically work for Vishnu, for the satisfaction of Vishnu or Krishna, and any other work is causing bondage. And so, when we satisfy Krishna and we perform all activities, then it is all done in liberated stage. So, if we perform in the expert guidance of a devotee of Krishna, under the instruction of Lord Krishna, or under the instruction of Lord Krishna himself, like Arjuna, not for sense gratification, then it will save us from the reaction of work and elevate us to transcendental loving service of the Lord. So, yat bhunte stena eva cha, here, sa means here is thief. One who enjoy, Tadartham karma konteya, of him for the sake work, O son. Here for him here means that means the Lord, right? So working for the sake of the Lord, O Arjuna, will liberate you from, it's confusing, association or bondage. What, right?
Because Mataji, on this I've written, we are who we interact with, associate with devotees.
So it is like Minal Mataji was saying, by using the right association, we get liberated. So it is not from association, but we get liberated from the material world through the association or
Correct.
right association. So here
Hmm.
from means using, actually. Liberation using right association or association of devotees. Because the whole purport also is explaining that only, that, you should, towards the end, you can see that it says that under the guidance, expert guidance of a devotee of Krishna. Lakshmi Mataji, you would like to explain the next one? Ya bhumte sena evasa.
Next one, the other
Question
next one
2.
I'll start, Mataji.
Okay. So 2E, who will do? I'll do that. 2E is yo bhumte sena evasa. Yo is yaha, means he who, bhumte means enjoys, sena sees, eva certainly, sa who. So he who enjoys the gift which we get, by pleasing the demigods bestow us all these gifts. And then if we start enjoying them without offering it to them, is a thief. So then we become a thief. So, pretender, thief, all these are strong words in this chapter. I think writing only this much will be.
Mataji, please.
This much is enough, no, Mataji, for his answer. This much is enough, I think. Okay, Lakshmi Mataji, you'll do Annat Bhavati Bhutani, Bhavanti Bhutani. What is the meaning of that?
Yes, Mataji.
It's from verse 3.14.
Yeah. Okay. Mataji, because this is my first joining for the class, just I wanted to, whatever I have prepared, it is only for closed book, right? You are referring to only, or analogy wise,
Yeah.
what you are.
Only closed book short questions now, and then we'll briefly try and understand the long questions also. Just so that some question comes from in between, that we have a deeper understanding.
Okay. So about the deeper understanding, I have to explain here. That's it, right?
Now we are doing only the short question, Mataji. Question 2F you are doing.
Question 2F. Okay, fine, Mataji. Okay. Mataji, अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि प्रजन्यादन्न समुद्भवः यज्ञात् भवति प्रज्ञज्ञो यज्ञकर्म समुद्भवः. Okay, so here, like in this shloka, this was actually like it was told like the person has to feed on the food. Okay, so if the person is have to feed on the food, just like that we don't get everything. So to get that food, it is only through the mercy of the God we get. So to do the Lord seva, any person have to go with all the this one, like ignas, how they used to do in the Satya Yuga. It is like a cycle chain. So through ignas, they're going to offer whatever the God has given us for the livelihood of the earth life, so that we are presenting to giving back to God in the form of ignas, so that again we'll get train, and from that train again we are going to get all the day-to-day food from the God. So this is how, yeah, you want, this is what I felt. You want completely in the answer format, how, because this
No,
is my first
Mataji.
class, I just wanted to.
Actually, definition of phrases in Sanskrit, no, Mataji. I actually asked this doubt also to Mataji. I think we
Mm,
just have to write the basic meaning like Annad Bhavanti Bhutani. Like I have written
mm,
only this much. Annad means from grains. Anna say Bhavanti
mm,
means to grow or to become. Bhutani
mm,
means our material bodies. So then after I've simply written one line, our material
mm,
bodies grow from grains.
mm.
I have only written that much. I've not explained all the philosophy that, I've not done any explanation for this answer. So we can ask Mataji if this is enough, or should we explain the
Mm.
whole verse and, of that phrase? Don't know.
That's what, like, because this is short answers. What I heard in the classes when Mataji told was, for the short answers, if you write present it for 2 to 3 lines, that is more than enough. She told.
Ah,
So, but when it comes to for long answers, what we have to take into consideration, Mataji? That's what I was confused. Like,
Long answers, I don't think so it will come, Mataji.
okay.
I'm not sure.
Hmm. Because few closed books, Mataji, they are quite can't be presented with short answers. I felt that is why
yeah.
I asked. Like,
I think we should try to
see,
be as short as possible because of limitation of time. But like if she asks meaning of a phrase, only phrase meaning also will be enough, I think.
hmm. Now this one is give the English meaning of the following. That is what they
Yeah,
have told.
yeah.
So Anna Bhavanti Bhutani. So only for those three words we have to give, or for the entire shloka we have to give meaning,
No,
Mataji.
not entire shloka, only those three words, I think so. Then if you want, you can leave two, three lines and later you can relate it to the verse. You know how Anna Bhavanti Bhutani means exactly what it means. It means that the body, it lives on grains and the grains
Hmm.
come from rains and the rains
Hmm.
come because of sacrifice and
Hmm.
sacrifice is born of prescribed duties and prescribed
Hmm.
duties come from the Vedas which are given to us by the Lord. So it's
Hmm.
like a
Hmm.
circle.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
the
Okay.
Lord basically gives us the food. Food comes from Krishna only ultimately.
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
it is because of rain, rain because of Yagya. Again, demigods also come in between all this.
Hmm. Okay.
So that's in short, we can write a few lines about what is why this Anad Bhavanti Bhutani is said in this verse.
Hmm.
Kripa Mataji, would you like to just say what is the meaning of Vikarma? I have written just three, four, in fact, two sentences. Kripa Mataji, Vikarma, Hare Krishna. I think Kripa Mataji is not here. Minal Mataji, can you say what is Vikarma?
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. And anything performed without the direction of the Vedas
Yeah.
is called Vika, or unauthorized or sinful work.
Yes, yes. I have also written exactly that. Unauthorized or sinful work, which is done, which is without the direction of Vedas or prohibited action, is Vikarma. Okay, then we'll go to the next one. Analogy of antiseptic vaccine. Anybody wants to say that, or shall I say from 3.14? The antiseptic vaccine I have written like this. Basically, eating only prasada. What is the antiseptic vaccine in this is that it's related to prasada. So when we eat prasada, it nourishes the body spiritually. Just as the antiseptic vaccine, it protects the body from the attack of epidemic diseases. Similarly, prasadam, which is offered to Vishnu, makes us immunized to material contamination because it gives us resistance to material affection. And the person who is accustomed to this practice of offering prasada and only eating is basically a devotee of the Lord. I have written like that. Any other you have prepared? Minal Mataji or Lakshmi Mataji?
Mataji, I have copied down from the analogies only.
Okay.
It is given. It is given in analogies
Yeah,
3.14 when there is a
3.14, that
epidemic.
analogy can just repeat now, and later when we can't see and write, so we'll have to write in our own language. Question 4 is, why is a fully Krishna conscious person not obliged to follow the Vedic injunctions? So this I've written I've written from the purport only 3.17.
Sorry, Mataji, I was not able to unmute and it just
Okay.
threw me out. Yeah, sorry about it.
No problem. So, Mataji, you want to try this question which we are discussing? Fourth question. Why is a fully Krishna conscious person, why does he not need to follow Vedic injunctions?
Okay, why does he not follow Vedic injunction?
No,
Mataji,
he follows.
already.
Yeah, he can follow also, because then others will follow him, but he doesn't need to. He's not obliged to, means he actually doesn't need to. It's not necessary for him to go by it.
Because he's praying to the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly,
Yeah,
right? I mean, he's
exactly.
chanting the mantras.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he does not really need to follow every single this thing, because you're going to the Lord directly rather than following any other, like Daivas or any of the other people in between. You can say that way. The
Yeah.
demigods in between.
Correct, exactly that only. I have also written that a little bit from the purport wordings. Like a fully
Yeah.
Krishna conscious person is not obliged to follow Vedic injunctions, because he is Krishna conscious, and so whenever somebody is Krishna conscious, all his impiety is cleansed. Impiety is a word I've taken from the purport. Impiety is
Okay.
cleansed, and when his consciousness becomes clear, he becomes confident of his position of servitorship in relationship with the Lord, and because of that, this results in his duty becoming self-illuminated by the grace of the Lord. So this word I felt is very nice. Once you are dedicating everything you do to Krishna, then the duty becomes self-illuminated by the grace of God. So because of that, the pure devotee, and he's also got other characteristics. He has no interest in material activities. He doesn't take pleasure in material arrangements like wine, women, and other infatuations. So he is so pure, and God will illuminate his duties for him, and so he doesn't need to follow the Vedic injunction like that.
Krishna takes care of him because he's directly, whatever he does is all in the name of Krishna. So automatically he's elevated to that level. Okay. Okay, Mataji. Sure.
Correct. Question 5, Minal Mataji, can you tell us question 5, the meaning of Acharya?
Yes, so Lord Chaitanya said that a teacher should behave properly before he begins teaching. One who teaches in that way is called Acharya.
Yeah.
Like we can write so many things in that also.
Yeah, this much is enough. So it's also written that he must follow the
That's
principle.
four regulatory. They should follow the four, this succession comes under the success, that Guru Parampara. That we need to write, Mataji.
Yeah, we can just add some of our own, one or two, one sentence more. Like one sentence which I found related to this Acharya is that the Acharya must be conversant with the standard books of moral and scriptural codes, because he must follow the scriptures before he teaches it to the common man. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that ideal teacher first behaves in accordance to his teaching, and only then he will start teaching. So like that. Answer 6 and 7, I've put it together because they are both related. Nirashir Nirmamo. English meaning of Nirashir Nirmamo, and also analogy of cashier counting is related to Nirmamo only. So Lakshmi Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
3.30.
Okay. So in 3.30, like they're telling about the Nisasir Nirmamo meaning, correct?
Nirashir, Mataji. Nirashir, Asha, without Asha, without desire.
Okay. Nirashir and Nirmamo.
Yes.
Yeah. Nirashir, that is without having any desires, of that's what of profit or any ownership, that is called as nirashir and nirmama. So serving for the Lord, that is one thing, without expecting anything from the Lord. That is nishkalmash. With the nishkalmash, we are praying and praying for the Lord without any desires. That is one thing. And that seventh one also will include.
Nishkalmash is there
Will
in this
include.
verse, or you're saying your own?
That's what the meaning. I told the meaning, Mataji.
Okay.
Mean, without the desire for profit and without the ownership, we have to serve for the Lord with nishkalmash bhavan.
Oh, Nishkalmash Bhava. That is, I did not hear that before. Nishkalmash
Okay.
Bhava. Okay.
With nishkalmash bhav, if we pray God,
Oh,
so He is going to take care of us.
okay. Okay.
Can you write it down in the chat, Mataji? Can't make out the.
Nishkalmash
Yeah.
Bhava. Okay. Well, I'm listening to this for the first time.
And explain the analogy of cashier counting millions of dollars. This one, like Mataji had explained during the class hours, that is for seventh one, because sixth and seventh both are connected with 3.30.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just sharing my thought of analogy. Like a cashier is going to collect all the money, but it is not his money. But he has to, at the end of the day, he has to deposit in the mainstream of his bank. So there he is doing his job, but he is not wanting for the money. Correct, Mataji? So the same thing only we can explain here also, right, Mataji?
Yes, yes. So he will count
Hmm.
millions of dollars, but he doesn't even claim one single cent. So we
Correct.
realize that this whole world doesn't belong to any individual person. Everything belongs only to Krishna.
Correct. So entire world is belong to Lord Krishna. So whatever we come without nothing and we go without nothing, and we are only playing with all the things that wanting for everything, but it is of no use. Everything belongs to Krishna.
Yes, ma'am. Perfect answer. Okay.
Hmm.
The next one, Kripa Mataji, you would like to try the next one. It is analogy of milk in contact with sour tamarind from 3.37.
Yeah. So it's like when milk comes in touch with the sour tamarind, it's converted into yogurt.
Yeah,
That was the example she had given.
correct.
Yeah. So I think anything that Mataji, which was this
3.37, Mataji.
3.7.
3.37.
37? Huh. So this was the example that Mataji had given. 3.37. Give me one minute. Let me see if I can explain it better.
The meeting will be over in 10 minutes. So we'll after that 10 minutes, we'll just do one more quickly to finish. We'll join again.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji will join again. The same link, right?
Same link. Yeah.
Okay.
So does this mean like it comes in touch and it converts to yogurt?
Yeah.
It changes, but then the quality of milk is still milk, you know. So it's like when you come in touch, like the sense of love which comes of God, you know, it gets transformed into. They say the love gets transformed into lust if
Yes.
it's not given a proper root, or it's not directed towards God, because God is the only person who truly loves us. And anything else, like I remember you also saying this, Mataji, is lust. You know, the only little percentage of love which is pure is the mother's love for the child. So it is the biggest enemy, you can say, lust. And it even a purest person or a purest form of love can be converted into lust just by it's very easy to get converted into lust. So when you are in Krishna consciousness, the only love that you feel is the purest form of love for God. So that's what I derive from it, and this is what I remember reading as
Yeah, it's a
well.
perfect answer. Also, I just one point I found very nice when I was reading the purport is that the explanation is that this milk coming into contact with tamarind is similar to the living entity, which is actually pure. When it comes
Yeah.
in contact with the material creation, then the love for Krishna becomes transformed into lust.
Yeah, that's true. So ideally, Mataji, the purest form, the milk is actually in its purest form. Like how our love is actually a pure, love is always a pure, is in always in a
Yeah.
pure form. It's only when it touches, like you said, any material existence, it gets converted. So milk, when it comes in touch with tamarind or even lemon for that matter, it converts to yogurt. So the
Yeah.
original milk is always pure, if you see, ideally, even the love
Yes,
that
yes.
is there.
So when we are in Krishna consciousness, then the lust and wrath gets ritualized, and then in the purport there is explanation of Hanuman getting angry. We need not write
Okay.
that much. We just have to explain only basic things. Yeah. Then answer 9 and 10. Whose turn next? Minal Mataji, answer 9 and 10 we can do together because both are from 3.39. All about Nitya Vairina. You have to explain Nitya Vairina with analogy of fire never being extinguished by fuel. Or Lakshmi Mataji, any one of you.
Yes, without desire for that is no.
Nitya Vairina, what does it mean?
By the eternal enemy.
Eternal
Yes.
enemy, yeah. Nitya
Yeah.
means eternal, Vairina means enemy.
Enemy.
What is the meaning of that here? And like you can use the analogy of fire and fuel. Hare Krishna Mataji, 3.39.
Yes, it is said in the Manu Smriti that lust cannot be satisfied by any amount of sense enjoyment.
Yeah.
Just as fire is never extinguished by a constant supply of fuel.
Yeah.
That only we have to explain in our
That only Mataji, correct.
even in the analysis.
Yeah. So we can mention that Nitya Vairina is eternal enemy, which is lust. And what happens
Lust.
is lust is covering our pure consciousness. Actually, our consciousness is pure, but we don't know because it's covered by lust. And when we are having sense gratification, then we are thinking that it is happiness, but actually it is just lust, and it's because of our ignorance. And then there's another very related analogy, which is nice, of the prison house. And Krishna says that everything in this material world is because of, interest in sex life. So he says the shackles of sex life in the material world, he calls it Maithunya Agara.
Maithunyagara, or shackles of sex life in ordinary prison house.
Yeah, yeah.
Prison within bars.
So in
This
this,
fire is never extinguished with the supply. Same way, like material desires which are constantly coming through. It's like an unending supply.
yeah,
Material
lust
desires.
cannot be satisfied by any amount of sense enjoyment, just as fire. So fire is compared to lust, and fuel is compared to enjoyment.
Correct. Therefore,
So we have to engage our senses towards Krishna.
So, Mataji, what I felt was the analogy behind this is the lust comes to any other person who is not in Krishna consciousness. So, without knowledge, it is going to come to him. But when it comes to Krishna consciousness, then the lust will automatically will get reduced. So, after coming to Krishna consciousness, also if he is having the lust, then he is an aparadi.
Then he's an
With aparadi, he is an aparadi.
aparadi.
Aparadi is
Okay, okay.
yeah.
Sinner.
he is an aparadi. So before coming to
Lust is
Krishna
like ritual,
consciousness,
Mataji. It's not like that. Lust is like it's a material thing, right? Prakriti is a
Mm.
Mm,
So before coming to Krishna consciousness, if a person is lusty, it's because of his ignorance and
correct,
getting hung up with the material desires. Correct, Mataji.
correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay,
Is
okay.
after coming to Krishna consciousness, also he
that
if
you will
he is
not
in
feel
the
hungry.
lust, then he is an aparadi. So definitely he will be like under the bars, like what it has been explained in purport.
Yeah.
Correct, ma'am.
Also,
So true.
Correct.
correct. Perfect answer. Yeah.
Yes,
Hmm,
Mataji. So true.
that is one.
The
And the
last
last
answer,
question is.
yeah.
hmm, The sitting places of the lust is the senses, mind, and intelligence.
Yeah.
Senses.
I have written just one more line in that answer, that Krishna reveals to us the sitting places of lust in this verse so that
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
this eternal enemy can be found and conquered, so that we can find it and conquer it. That
Mm.
much only I have written. Then we can write a little more in detail about how mind, sense, in that purport. We can just read it and keep it. If we have time, we
Mm.
can add some more points.
Mm.
Yeah.
The senses is going to inform to mind, and mind is going to inform to the intelligence. So intelligence is the place where we can solve everything. So once if the intelligence is going to reject the lust, then the senses and mind will not take its part at all, Mataji.
Also,
This is
one
what
more
I
point
felt.
we can add. True. Also, one more point, where you were talking about how senses are, after sense objects, and the mind is also, going behind senses. Intelligence is also scheming to go after the mind, and actually the intelligence then covers up the soul also and makes it have the false ego that it is the body. So the soul,
Correct,
instead
correct.
of understanding its spiritual nature, it starts thinking that it starts in the false, it's in the false world, that it's a body, and then it goes after sense pleasures which are temporary and not real.
Correct, correct. So intelligence is the supreme, not supreme, it is the highest place. So if
Mm.
intelligence is also covered with lust, then it is the spirit soul which is going to guide us that wrong is wrong and correct is correct. So when spirit soul guides us, I think in the intelligence level only we have to take decisions. If at all, if we are not good enough to take decisions in the intelligence level, then when the spirit soul guides us, then we should move to its rules. That is what I felt.
Yeah, that is
Correct.
basically when you start identifying yourself as a soul and not the body.
Correct, correct. All
But
this
doesn't
happens only after
intelligence
coming to KC.
cover? But doesn't intelligence cover most of our behaviors, Mataji, even the spirit soul to that extent?
That's what I was saying. The intelligence actually makes the soul, in a cloud, like in a wrong belief that you are the body.
Mm.
Correct.
So the intelligence is doing this and covering up the soul. So the soul, like how Mataji was saying, we have to use the acts of knowledge and cut off this false belief of we are the body, so that we can start. And it's also
With the
easy.
sword of knowledge, we have to cut the this
Yes, absolutely.
ignorance.
Well said, Mataji. A cord of knowledge. You need it's like the sword of knowledge to cut the cord of, lust.
Yes. Then closed book longer questions.